An adult killer whale eats up to 300 pounds of food each day. Killer whales are the biggest members of the dolphin family. They are easy to recognize due to their black back and a white underside. Orca is another name for them. These animals are carnivores eating a diet of fish and seals. They can adapt to both cold and warm water habitats. Female orcas are known to live 10 to 20 years longer than males. Orcas use echolocation to hunt in the ocean. Newborns can dive and swim. Each of an adult's teeth is 4 inches long. These animals have no animal predators. Orcas have a smooth black back including a large dorsal fin while their underside is bright white. These animals have a white eyespot located just behind each of their eyes. They have teeth that can be as long as 4 inches. If you cut a bowling pin into 4 equal parts, the animal's 4-inch tooth would equal one of those parts. In terms of size, the orca can measure from 23 to 32 feet in length. A 23-foot-long orca equals 2/3 the length of a telephone pole. It's difficult to grasp the size of these animals until you see one with your own eyes. They can weigh up to 6 tons. Imagine 3 adult giraffes standing on a gigantic scale. Their total weight would equal the weight of one 6-ton orca. These animals share some features with the pygmy killer whale. The scientific name of the pygmy killer whale is Pherecia attenuata. It's another member of the Delphinidae family. In terms of size, the pygmy species is much smaller than the orca. The pygmy species grow to be 8.5 feet long and weigh up to 500 pounds. That's the length of a newborn killer whale. In addition, the pygmy killer whale hunts squid and fish while the orca eats larger prey. Furthermore, the pygmy species is rarely seen whereas the killer whale is observed in various locations. The dorsal fin, the one on the animal's back, can measure as long as 6 feet. 6 feet is the length of a full-size bed. The tail fin is called a fluke and helps it to move through the water with speed. Its dorsal fin provides balance as the animal swims. Alternatively, its pectoral, side, fins help the orca to steer as well as stop. The largest killer whale on record measured 32 feet long. Its long, sleek body travels through the ocean kind of like a submarine. These animals can travel up to 35 miles per hour. This helps them to hunt and capture fish, seals, and other sea life. These animals have lungs that need to take in and let out oxygen. You have that in common with a killer whale. The blowhole of a killer whale serves as its nose. Its blowhole is located on the top of its head. So, when the animal needs to take in or let out a breath, it simply raises the top of its head above the surface of the water. The highest amount of time these animals can stay underwater without taking a breath is about 15 minutes. But most can hold their breath for about 10 minutes or so. Killer whales are social animals and travel in groups called pods. They jump and dive swimming in circles around one another. The size of a pod differs with each type of killer whale. For instance, resident orcas travel in pods ranging from 5 to 50 members. Transient killer whale pods usually contain 7 or fewer members. Offshore killer whales may have over 100 members in a pod or fewer than 20. Orcas have a unique way of communicating. They use whistles and clicks to talk with other orcas around them. What do the whistles and clicks mean? You would have to be a killer whale to know the answer to that question. These animals are not aggressive unless they are in pursuit of prey. To the contrary, they are known to be curious, playful animals that sometimes try to interact with humans sailing nearby. These animals live in oceans all over the world. They are especially plentiful in the cold waters in the Arctic, Antarctic and around Norway. A large number of orcas are found in the North Pacific Ocean from California all the way to Russia. Orcas that live in the Pacific Northeast region are known as residents. They are called residents because they stay inland. Alternatively, transient killer whales swim up and down the coast of southeast Alaska and British Columbia. Offshore killer whales stay way out in the ocean. These animals can live in both cold and warm water habitats. This animal has a carnivorous diet. But the type of meat it eats depends on whether it's a resident, transient or offshore orca. These three types of killer whales occupy different habitats. This means they have different types of prey available to them. Resident killer whales eat fish. Salmon is a favorite item in their diet. Transient killer whales eat larger prey including sea lions, harbor seals, porpoises, gray whales, or minke whales. Sometimes a transient killer whale will push itself onto shore to grab a seal or sea lion, then slide back into the ocean. The diet of offshore killer whales includes blue sharks, salmon sharks and dogfish. One of the most interesting facts about these animals is that an adult can consume up to 300 pounds of food per day. 300 pounds of food is equal to the size of one adult pig. These animals hunt with the help of echolocation. This is something they have in common with dolphins. Orcas make a high-frequency clicking sound that goes out into the water around them. When the sound hits an object, it bounces back to the animal. An orca can determine whether the object is prey by the type of echoing sound that bounces back at them. A bat uses the same type of hunting method as it flies through the air. Who knew orcas and bats had something in common?